Tell me, who is annoying you the most tonight from the family photo?
I think Aunt Chippy is always the most annoying. She wins most annoying. She was voted most annoying in high school.
20 years later, Kimmel, Clooney, D-O-double-G. Who has changed the most and how?
I think probably I've changed the most because George is still very handsome. Snoop Dogg looks exactly the same, literally exactly the same. He hasn't gained a pound. I think he just got a little taller. And then you have me.
20 years later, what's been your favorite moment from the show?
Oh, my favorite moment for the show. I actually have an answer for that. My favorite moment from the show was we're in Brooklyn, doing the show from Brooklyn. It happened to be the day from the movie Back to the Future where Marty McFly and Doc Brown re-enter current day. And it was on that date we had Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd and Huey Lewis and the DeLorean. And I'll tell you, I've never heard applause like that in my life. We had to edit 9 minutes of clapping out of the show because people went absolutely crazy. It was a surprise. And that was probably my favorite moment.
After you say that, I'm going to ask this still. Who do you still want to have on the show?
You know, there are still a few people that we haven't had on the show, and it's always kind of weird when it's somebody. You know, like as a kid, I was very much in love with Madonna, and she's never been on the show, so that would be one.
I've been back at E for 3 months, and I'm ready to retire. So in my Regis Philbin voice, 20 years, Jimmy. What are you doing? Are you done? Are you ready to leave this?
No, I just agreed to stay for another 3 years, so I'm going to be around for a while, God willing.
But in 3 more years, any ways you want to change a show, or you don't fix it if it's not broken? Any new ways you want to change, implement?
You know, if I had some good new ways, I would have already done them. It's hard to think of new things. Ultimately, you're out there on a piece of wood talking to a group of people who probably had other things to do about the events of the day, and it's kind of like baseball. Like there are certain rules that you have to follow to be a talk show.
You're a legend, but I love Norman Lear. Live from a studio audience, what's the next project? What's the next one you're going to work on with him?
Well, we have some ideas, but we haven't settled on one yet. But we definitely have some. We've been thinking about it, and I love working with Norman. And those shows are a lot of fun to do.
Do you have any favorite sitcoms that you would like to see, even if it's not next, that you're pushing for?
I can't say. It's very secretive.
Are we prepping for the Oscars? Are we getting up drinking egg yolks with the Rocky theme? How do we prep for the Oscars?
Well, one of them is by trying not to eat so much, because I'll tell you something. We had a little photo shoot, and the idea was I would wear the tuxedo that I wore the last time I hosted the Oscars. Well, I looked like a balloon animal. I was squeezed into that thing, and I said, you know what, I better lose a few pounds before I do this thing.
What are you going to do? Keto? Any diet you're going to do?
I've been on an all raisins diet. Have you heard of it? Yeah, you have 1 raisin a day, and it really works.
What's the cartoon? The Raisins? Remember the Raisins? Raisinets? What was
California Raisins? Yeah, they're dead now. They passed away.
R.I.P. You know, I thought George Clooney was going to come, so if you want to grab the card and you want to maybe answer the first question.
George, I'm George Clooney with 3 words to describe Jimmy. Beautiful, wonderful, magical.
Tonight when he came out, was it like deja vu for you, thinking, I effing can't believe this?
It was weird having him and Snoop there, but I have to be honest, I have almost no memory of that show happening. Like if it wasn't on videotape, you'd have to convince me that it happened. It was it was like a car accident, you know? You block it out.